Of all the critical components of the U.S. infrastructure, the power grid is one of the most vulnerable to cyber attack.
Imagine if the critical infrastructure we rely on every single day simply shut down. Power plants, banking systems, air traffic control, subways, all are vulnerable.
Russian government hackers are actively trying to penetrate the grid to carry out potential attacks.
They are already in the grid. The Russians are in, the Chinese are in. The Iranians may be on the verge of getting in.
Ironically, it's our less sophisticated electric providers who may have an edge here. Rural co-ops account for 42 million people. None of these co-ops relies on the internet for the distribution of power.
That's right, people. Sometimes the less fancy something is, the more you can count on it. Like Danny DeVito. That's why when everyone is messing around with their Spotify playlists on their iPhone 12s, I'm jamming out to CDs on my old reliable Discman.
It's been.
But those rural providers aside, America is in real trouble here. If America's electricity is hacked, that could mean hospitals lose power, the banking system collapses, Boeing planes fall out of the sky, even more than they already do. And there are so many countries already in America's grid that they're probably just arguing over who will actually get to cause the blackouts. What are you doing? Get out of here. We were here first. Get out of here, Russia. You already did an election. Give us something, huh? In fact, you know what they need to do? They need to update the Geneva Conventions for this new kind of warfare. They gotta be like, okay, look, we can bomb each other as much as we want, but can we agree no cutting power when there's a new one division? That's a war crime. So, this is a scary future that the world is facing. But the good news is the United States now has Space Force. I mean, they won't be able to protect the power grid, but if it does go down, someone in space can look down on Earth and be like, yep, it looks like the lights are out down there. Everything's off. And that, my friends, is huge. Now, luckily, hackers haven't done any major damage to America's power grid yet. But wait till you hear what has.
One of the biggest threats to the U.S. power grid isn't state actors or natural disasters. It's that little gray mammal invading your bird feeder. In fact, it's difficult to know the severity of our squirrel sabotage problem because it happens so frequently. Utility industry groups say they're the most common cause of grid trouble. They cause 1 of every 5 outages. One ill-fated squirrel could knock out power for thousands of customers or trip up whole financial markets. Squirrels have short-circuited NASDAQ not once, but twice from the same city in Connecticut.
Well. Turns out squirrels have been sabotaging us. And we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, have you ever seen a squirrel? They always look like they're plotting some shit. And I guess it turns out if squirrels were the real threat all along, some of us need to start apologizing to our dogs because it turns out they were good boys, very good boys. So yes, when you look at the state of America's electric grid, it is not a pretty picture. It's under threat from climate change, from hackers, and even jumped up rats. Honestly, just thinking about how the entire country could be shut down in an instant is starting to stress me out. In fact, I'm getting so stressed, I think I'm just going to take a moment to listen to some of my relaxing tunes. Yeah.